Hey everyone, today I'm going to be doing a Gorillas inspired nail set. So as always, to start off, I'm prepping my nails. I'm going to be using these really super long square full cover nails. I like to buff the surface to get that shine off to prepare the nail for gel polish. It just helps it adhere better. And also just file the tip of the nail. Sometimes there's like that little piece there, little piece of plastic at the tip of the nail. Then I use an alcohol prep pad to wipe the surface clean of any debris and begin polish. So I'm applying a base coat, and for these nails I'm going to be using white as the base color, and I do apply 2 coats to some of the nails. So now I'm going to begin with one of the easier nails, and I'm writing gorillas on my thumbnail. So I'm going to be using this hot pink. I do mix this pink with a little bit of white just because I felt like it wasn't as solid as I would like it. So I mixed a very little bit of white in there, and then just took an art brush and started writing gorillas on the nail. So after I finished writing gorillas, I let this cure, and then I am going to go back in and make the letters a little bit more thicker. And the great part about writing this is that the letters didn't have to be super perfect. So after I finished making the letters a little bit more thicker, I did let this cure. And I'm going to show you guys really quick what lettering I'm pretty much trying to copy. And that's this here. This is their tour flyer on their Instagram. And if you look closely, you can see like a little bit of black in the pink letters. But because I did the background white, I decided to just use white instead of black to kind of make it look a little bit more distressed. It's kind of what it looked like on the flyer, at least. So that's what I'm doing here. After I'm done, I did apply a top coat, and we're moving on to the next nail, which is Noodle. So before I begin, I'm just laying down the colors that I'm going to be using. So I'm looking at the photo that I'm copying and trying to replicate the colors as best as possible. Just getting that ready. That way when I begin drawing, I don't have to do so much mixing throughout me drawing the nail. So I'm not gonna lie, it was like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was kind of over this. I didn't really want to do nails, especially draw nail art, but because I was gonna see them the next day, I did want to have at least 2 members. I wanted to rep gorillas in some way on my nails. So with that skin tone color, it was kind of annoying me because sometimes I know certain brands don't mesh well with each other, and I do find that sometimes when I mix some colors, it can either not cure or not cure properly, and that was what's going on with that flesh tone color. It did work out in the end. Like, the nails are fine. I wore them and they didn't like peel or anything, but yeah, that was kind of irritating me. Also, I freehand everything, so I didn't sketch anything, and I do make a few mistakes. Again, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was just, I was over it, to be honest. So yeah, this whole portion of me drawing Noodle is just, I guess you guys can watch it. I do just kind of go back and forth and tidy things up and fix things up. So if you see that something looks different, that's all I was doing. Just going back in, fixing it until I feel like it looked right in the end. So now that I'm done with all of the details, She's done and I'm applying a top coat. I actually do like to apply 2 coats of a top coat. Now I'm moving on to Tootie. So I actually wore this nail and the noodle nail with another nail set that I had previously made to the Gorillaz concert. Um, Again, I didn't have time to do the full set that night, so I just had to settle for 2 nails. And this is actually a week later that I'm finishing the set. And when I went back to it, I was like, you know what? I want to add Tootie's hat. Like he has some like spikes. It kind of reminds me of like a Mickey Mouse hat. Um, except it's not round ears, it's sort of like spikes. So I wanted to add that because I thought it was really cute and cool looking, and I felt like it wouldn't be complete without adding that. So I decided to use poly gel for this because obviously I did not have space to draw it on the nail. I am glad that I did them this way though, because they did come out really cool looking. I didn't have any plan per usual, just kind of winging it. I was debating on whether I should make them off the nail and then attach them, but I found that, well, in my opinion, I thought it would just be easier to shape them while it's connected to the nail. So what I'm doing for that is making a little base here. So these little beads of polygel is just kind of like my base where I can attach a bigger piece of polygel and then shape those pieces of potty gel into little spikes. So I did let those pieces cure, and then here I went back with more poly gel and I'm making those pieces bigger. They have to be bigger, and I also have to make another challenge with this was making looking. Sure that the poly gel was even, because ultimately I have to polish these pieces black and any sort of lumps and bumps will show through. So I did have to go back a couple of times. Like here I'm making spikes and then just curing. And then if I had to add anything, like if a spike wasn't spiky enough or an area was a little bit flat, I would go back with just a little piece of polygel, making sure everything is nice and even and spiky and to my liking. And after I was done with this portion of it, then I did go in and just buff and file and make sure the surface was nice and smooth. Applied the back black gel polish and then top coat, and then he's done. So the snail's finished. Isn't he so cute? I love how he came out. So I'm going to be doing this nail, which originally I was going to leave pink, but I decided to do a little design on it. And I'm drawing these little lightning bolts for Cracker Island. They have like this other character that is all over like all of the merch. I actually bought a bag at their concert and a hat that has this character on it. And I'm going to draw that character on the other hand for this set. And but on it, it has like these little lightning bolts and stars around it. So I'm just drawing a couple of those lightning bolts on this nail just so that this nail is not so plain. So this was the last nail for this side of the set. I am going to be making a part 2, y'all, so you can see how I do the other side from this set, and you will also be able to see the full set. But this is how this side looks. It's so cute. I love it. I am thinking of doing something a little bit more to that pinky, but we'll see. You guys can see the final full set in part 2. So I will see you there. Bye.